Pre-workout time, guys. All right, so finished running errands. Picked up 2 cars for my brother-in-law, and now I'm gonna have a pre-workout meal. Pretty tired. I'm gonna go get a leg session in, but before I do that, I'm gonna go visit my dad because I haven't seen him since Chinese New Year, like 2 weeks ago. So I'm gonna go see him, see my uncles, and then head to the gym, train legs, and then hopefully go out for a sushi buffet. Just parked. Forgot how crappy parking was around this area. This is one reason why I don't like coming to the gym anymore, because traffic is really bad and it takes me like a good 20 minutes to get here, 30, and I spend another 10-15 looking for parking, and I still gotta walk another 10 minutes. So it's pretty bad. When you're so used to having a gym like 3 minutes out, sometimes you might just want to take a rest day. But today I'm actually going to be doing legs with 2 of my clients, Justin, Chris. We're going to have some sumo sessions, some squat sessions, and hopefully get a post-workout meal in. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another commentary. So today is a different workout. We're actually doing a leg day at my old gym that I used to go to during contest prep. It's in Brooklyn. So today's workout is a leg A workout where we're doing 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps. I remember today, at that day, it was a pretty long day for me. This one of those days where I woke up earlier, didn't get enough sleep, and I was just doing a lot of errands in the morning. I actually had to run around, pick up my brother-in-law's cars. As I mentioned in the video, went to see my dad, my uncle for the New Year's, and then I decided to run to the gym. So what I'm trying to say is, one thing I noticed was that when I was working out this early and having so many errands to do, it kind of makes me not feel too great mentally, at least. But after watching that set, it was okay. I wasn't too happy with it. I did see some butt rink at the bottom, so I'm trying to work on that as well while I'm squatting. Here is my client and friend Justin. He is currently working on his off-season look right now. As you can see, he's still pretty lean. I remember when I was filming this, like, I was just staring at that vein. That vein was like ridiculous, and he just looks definitely thinner. It's interesting because this is where everybody's physique body is very different, and everybody responds differently to carbohydrates. So Justin's carbs are pretty high, but you know, his whole entire body is pretty lean. However, we're still currently working on building everything up, and then we're gonna transition to a mini cut for his, just to clean up the middle section to make it more appealing. That's his goal, and that's one of our goals while working together. Here's my second set. I really want to increase the weight, but I wasn't feeling too great. So I would say this is the first time where I actually hit the second set with the same weight. Usually I train a little bit later, so this was a little bit earlier for me. So that could be one of those factors why everything didn't click as much. As you can see, I wish I opened my hips a little bit more. Just activate more quads into the movement, but overall it was okay. It was decent at least. It wasn't one of my best leg days. It's one of my tougher ones throughout this improvement time. Yeah, so as I was finishing this set, it felt heavier. Today was actually one of those days where the bar felt a lot heavier being underneath than it actually looked. Because as soon as I did it, I knew it. I wasn't too pleased with it, and I remember everybody else saying it looked okay. But to me, it's just something that I really want to work on. So, this is why filming is good, because I get to form check myself. This is Chris, my other client. He's also in a off season currently right now, in a surplus, and a lot of these guys we've been trying to link up a long time, trying to get a leg session in, but it just so happened that the last time we were supposed to meet up, I got sick. It was around Christmas break, so I actually had the time, and our schedules actually aligned, so we actually made it happen today. As you can see, definitely less extensions. So this is where biomechanics are different. Support it varies from for each different individuals. As you can see, Chris was just powering through these nice. And what I really liked all clients to do is just really work on mind muscle connection, because a lot of these guys do. They're a lot younger than me, so they come from a background where powerlifting is, they're more familiar with powerlifting. But however, with powerlifting, there's a lot of other things going along. So like your goal, it's different goals. So when you're powerlifting, your goal is just to move the weight. A lot of hip movements and just some kind of like low bar at the back. So it was nice to really kind of like fine tune everything for these guys, just to kind of transition them back into something different, something out of their norm. And I mentioned this to them all the time. Like I really appreciate them just really um, trusting me, because trust is like it goes a long way, especially when you're trying to coach somebody. So it's like a two-way street. Like you want a coach that's able to hear you out, hear what you want, and create a plan to help you get there, not just someone that's stuck on one way. But it's really nice. And so currently, right now, as you can see, everybody backed off the weight a little bit just to really work on their form, their stance. I did recommend them to kind of play around with the stance, because again, everybody has different biomechanics. Just as long as they feel the mind muscle connection on the quads while performing the squats, that's always going to be one of those more important things. Because if you're working out and you don't feel it, then it doesn't matter if you're lifting 3 4 plates. Like if you still have baby legs. So what I'm trying to say is, if your goal is to develop your legs, you want to feel every rep. Make every rep count. Make sure every set counts. You don't want to just move the weight and take the load off your quads and tell yourself like, oh, I squatted 3 plus plates, but you have zero leg development. So this is where it comes in, where different sport, different mindset. So this is my last set. I did add the weight. I just added 5 pounds because I felt okay enough. This one was a little bit better, as you can see, but there's still some butt rink, and there's actually a lot, and it felt better. But as you can see, that's something I can always improve on, and that's something I will be mindful of the next time I hit a leg A section. This is actually one of those times where I hit its lower weight, just higher volume, just to get the blood flowing. And believe it or not, it's actually harder than lifting heavy. You need to have the endurance, and as I'm packing on the size right now and the weight, endurance is something that's not on my side. So I just gotta have to really work on that as well. All right, so Chris is gonna move on to his last set. Again, he's working on 2 plates. So one thing that we did kind of change, tweaked a little bit, was his first set. He did a lot of glute tucking at the top. So I did tell him to kind of, when he goes down, to not sit too deep into the hole and kind of like stabilize himself with his quads. So that way he's feeling the movement throughout the full entire eccentric and concentric of the movement. And hopefully the goal is for these guys to keep practicing and squatting like this. So over time, everything will develop. After that, we actually moved into our sumo. Well, we moved to deadlifts, and these guys are doing conventional as I was working with sumos, because typically I do sumos on um, my leg A workout, and I do conventional at my pull B. So as you can see, these guys, they're really strong for their age, and they're starting early, which is a good thing, because that's also a beautiful thing to see with the younger crowd today. Because like when I was their age, information wasn't that great. It wasn't accessible. Like it was hard for me to get good quality content. I basically had to listen to a lot of like fitness gurus at the gym, listen to how they do things, just because that's how it was done in the past. So as you can see, they were just warming up right here, just to really feel activated, just to make sure they're warming up the hips. And I do recommend this, but for me, usually by the time I get into the sumos, I'm pretty much warmed up already. For some reason, I just don't take as long as I used to warming up for deadlifts. However, also one thing I do notice the trade off is like I'm not lifting as heavy as I was a few years ago. So, hence this is why I don't need to lift. I don't need to warm up as much. I remember back then when I used to just really go higher for like singles, for doubles. The acclimation and warm up sets alone took like 40 minutes. And to me this is more of a safer movement than the squats. I mean, with squats is always that mindset where like, damn, what if I can't do it? But for deadlifts, it's either you can do it or you can't. And if you can't, you just drop it. You don't have to like try to pull with your whole entire body. So this is set one for me. And again, I want to go up in weight, but I want to make sure I was able to do it. Um, Starting off with 315 because the last time I did this for this amount of reps for 3 sets of 10 to 12, I finished off with 315, and I believe I hit around 9 reps each set. So what I try to always do is the first set is I use my last week's top set. So everything felt pretty good. Very controlled as you can see. I'm really I've been getting slowly a little bit better each time, bringing it down, and really just feeling the back. And one thing I do want to practice on for myself is to really regulate my breathing a little bit more. Because I do breathe, but one thing I noticed is that towards the last few reps, I turned red, and I don't regulate the breathing as much. And during that set, the Versa grip came off. I'm actually considering buying a new set of Versa grips. I mean, I had those since 2013. It's crazy how I remember it because I ordered them before my first trip to DR back in 2013, and they've been through hell and back, and they're still hanging in there for me. As you can see, this is Chris. Chris is slowly coming together nicely. He's getting thick. I mean, very nice. And to see these guys, they actually look bigger than me, just leaner than me. Like for me right now, like I'm big, but like I just hold fluff at the weight I'm sitting at right now. And when I get to like the 180s, I get a little bit more messier, I guess you can say. Like I get a little bit more fluffy. So the goal for me this off season is to slowly increase the calories accordingly, of course. So there's back in the days I used to just raise it depending on how I feel. But right now I'm doing pretty well. My fats are currently at like 60 grams of fats daily and 400 carbs and 210 grams of protein. So I'm sitting okay. And this is Justin deadlifting. So one tweak I did for him is to really focus um, coming down slower and just really more controlled. You know, Again, coming from a powerlifting background, usually when the weight's lower, this is when you do the speed work. And however, one thing I want them to really continue practice working on is feeling the movement. You want to focus on speed, but you also want to feel the movement, and you want to get the most bang for the buck each rep. As you can see, it's a little bit more controlling now. So they're very receptive, and that makes my job so much easier because they have questions, they ask, they're receptive, and the relationship is just the respect is just very mutual, and that's perfect. Second set for me, as I'm gearing towards it, I added 10 pounds. So this is a increase from my last working set, and again, this is like probably nothing compared to other people's weight, but this is where I'm at right now, and I always preach about working where you're at. Don't worry about the next guy, because if you do it correctly, your weights will climb up. It will climb up within time. So second set, one thing I want to work on is some more controlled touch and goes. So I remember my deads felt really good. It felt really good. Definitely felt controlled, as you can see. I was actually really surprised that I was able to pull nicely and smoothly, very controlled. And I'm hoping to keep this up throughout all my lifts, especially with deadlifts. Eventually, I will transition to more into a power block where I will do lower reps, more sets. But as of now, this is kind of like the beginning phase for me because I haven't been in a surplus for a long time. I would say this is like only like what going on to like almost 3 months, and I just started hitting 400 carbs. All these other guys are actually over 400 carbs. That's a crazy thing, right? Like if you look at these guys, they've been eating 400 some carbs in a long time, and so basically I'm kind of have to bump up everybody's carbs and calories. So it's not necessarily just carbs. Sometimes you want to bump up fats. Sometimes you want to bump up protein. Everybody responds differently, so you just have to really go by their feedbacks and see how they're feeling, how is their gut health, and how's recovery. Because if recovery is good, gut health is great, and you're not hungry, there's really not much need to really change anything. But for example, you say like you're really hungry and everything's on point, so you want to like really. That's when you make changes. Right now, as you can see, this is Justin after the tweaking. Like he's just really trying to work on being more controlled. As you can see, it's more controlled right now, and these guys are lifting more weights than definitely than more than me at their age. I didn't even hit for reps. Like 315 might not be a lot, but like to have like nice clean set, smooth reps, it's hard. It's an art. That's why I was telling these guys that because they're always asking me for critiques on their form, and one thing I tell them is that no matter how great you are, you can always be better at this. So bodybuilding, working out, posing, it's all an art, and you want to work at it. You want to be better at it each time. You're not going to be like, oh, I know how to squat, so that's it. I know how to squat. We're going to have good days and we're going to have bad days. So what we can only control is how smart we train. This is my last set, my top set. I had 3 plates and a quarter, 365, and it just felt great. I remember I was like, let me try it, see if I could add a quarter. I haven't done this heavy for like my 10 to 12 range in a while, and it just felt really smooth. Look at that big belly. I'm definitely enjoying the off season right now. It's gonna be like this for a long time. Definitely pretty good, as you can see, very controlled, and that's the one thing I really enjoyed and liked, and I was really surprised, to be honest. And overall, I think we all had a very good workout. So we really went with the feel and not just the weight. And believe it or not, I remember at the end of the night, I was cramping up. My body was shot. My legs, like I felt dead. I remember that day, it was like a long night for me, and I just felt exhausted. It was nice having Chris cheering me on in the corner. He was counting for me and making sure I hit my reps. And, this is why working out with people with the same mindsets is just very, very important. All right, so this is going to be Chris's top set, his last set. He's sticking with 315s because he's trying to really just work on technique and just feeling the mind muscle connection. As you can see, these guys are going to be great over time, because one thing that I can guarantee is if you're a new lifter, or even an advanced lifter, as long as you guys put in the work and train smart, stick to a plan, the diet, overall your body's gonna grow. Make sure recovery is good, because one mistake that I made in the past, in the beginning, was I thought all the gains were made in the gym. However, I didn't focus too much on gut health. I didn't focus too much on recovery. And one thing I've learned within the past year is that rest days are good. It's good to recharge you physically and recharge you mentally. There are days where, I make decisions where I don't feel so great, or I have to stay late for work, and what I do is I just kind of switch my off days around, or I'll take an additional off day, and that's perfectly fine, because we were actually talking during our break, and I remember Justin skipped the previous day because he had a long day. Keep in mind that they all work, they all have their social life, their family, and their students, so they have a pretty busy life, just like myself. And he told me like he's kind of glad he didn't come to the gym, and that's one thing I try to preach to my clients as well. There's no black or white plans. There's always that gray area. So I told him, like, listen, if you know that you're not gonna have a great workout, and you already had like a long day, if you know you're gonna come to the gym and it's not gonna be a productive workout, like if you're just doing things to say that you did it to hit quota, then take the day off. You know, rest up, recover. I'd rather you come back the next day having a productive workout. Remember, working out doesn't make us big. It doesn't really help us get to the goal, right? Because, you know, I think it's safe to say that there are a lot of people in the gym work out religiously every day, 3 hours, you know, eating 6 meals a day, drinking water, and they don't make any improvements. You know, having productive workout is what you want. You want to work out where, you know, even though you had to back off the weight, like you're still feeling the effects of working out, and that's what you want, you know. After this, we did some standing calf raises, some ab work. We did do some leg extensions, but I didn't film it because we were there for a long time. One of the things about working out with multiple people is that we have to really kind of switch the plan up a little bit, because with multiple people it will take longer. I'm just glad it wasn't one of our heavy days, because that would have taken even longer. So here I'm working with stiff-legged deadlifts with, you know, RDLs with dumbbells. And at the other gym I've been to, I've worked all the way up to 115 pounds, and God, they feel amazing. And however, in this gym, all the heavier dumbbells on the other side, and Justin and Chris can only, they want to really stick with the lower weight because they really want to work on the mind muscle connection while I'm there. So I decided, hey, listen, I'm just gonna back off the weight and bump up the reps a little bit. So the 70s felt easy. As you can see, Chris is like really putting in that work right now. He's, any critique I give him, he's really just really taking it in, and Justin as well. And you know, that makes, you know, it makes me really proud of them, and just excited for the things to come for these guys, because at the end of the day, they are going to be the future. You know, they're younger, just, you know, just things are going to be better. You know, but for me, it's more like, you know, my time, I feel like I'm in my prime now. I probably only see myself competing a few more seasons. We'll see how things go, where life takes me, but you know, when it's time to let go, it's time to move on. You know, that's what I always stood by, what I believe in. No regrets. Second set coming up right now. I'm sticking with the 70s, just really getting that pump work, the blood work. Right here, I'm squeezing my glutes and my hammies like really hard. So one thing I do want to bring up is my ass. I want to bring up my glutes the next time I get on stage. Definitely want to be leaner. Want to have bigger hamstrings, bigger calves. So everything's slowly growing, even my calves, which is exciting to see, because it's only been a few months and I definitely see the hard work showing off. So I just can't wait to continue doing this for the next few years before I really chip away to see what's cooking underneath. Right here is Justin. Guy's still lean. I'm really trying to beef him up. Just get him thicker, fuller. These guys are funny. They're awesome. But that's it for the commentary. We're done with this, and next part is post-workout.
Alright, we just finished our workout. What's going on, guys?
I felt like throwing up, bro. It was such a sick workout.
It's too much cheese, bro. Too much cheese.
Not enough arroz.
Nah, but it was a sick workout. We finally got a leg session in, and got to tweak some stuff to optimize growth for these guys. These guys are putting in work.
A lot of growth, man.
A lot of growth, and the real key is right now where we're gonna go eat some sushi. I've been craving for it. I want sushi, guys.
This is my first time. So.
Yo, this is the weight right here. The crazy ass weight. This is the Asian rush here. Lunchtime, we missed out.
Oh, yeah. Yo, and it is,
We're going in.
It is. Isn't there more coming? The stuff we did to him.
Alright guys, we're at the round 2. I'm gonna finish with the udon tradition. Maggie knows what's up. Done with the food. My guy Chris, how you feeling, man?
Ah, man, I'm bloated.
My legs are in like recovery mode already. They're starting to hurt right now. It's getting cooler. Heading home to see Maggie, and then that's gonna wrap up for my day, because I'm just gonna chill out, probably take a nap if I head home. What about you, Chris? Just chilling?
Just chilling, grocery shopping in the end, meal prep, and
Meal prep, yo, these guys.
train again for tomorrow.
The future
Thursday,
right
Thursday,
here.
I mean. Rest day.
Yeah. these guys were pushing hard today. It feels good sometimes when you have somebody pushing you. That's when you really want to start pushing harder. So it was fun day.
Thank you guys for watching. If you guys liked the video, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.